Snow fell steady. The village moved slow. Marple sat with Dolly. Dolly wanted thread. The post office was her goal, Marple agreed. They walked together, coats tight, voices low. The post office stood ready. The red box outside marked the hour. Inside, Mrs. Prow worked. Ledger open, pen sharp, eyes sharper. She checked parcels. She checked stamps. Nothing missed. Colin Treadgold stood near. He stacked small packets. He wanted to help. He wanted approval. He fumbled often. Marple noted him. Eager boy, but careless. The room filled. Mrs. Carter talked. She waited for her parcel. She claimed it would sparkle. Her voice was high. Inspector Slack appeared. His face stern. His tone direct. He wanted forms. He wanted control. Dr. Haydock leaned back. He looked tired. He checked his watch. He muttered of results from London. The Reverend stood calm. Beside him, his wife smiled. She asked about the bazaar. She wanted plans finished. Mabel Finch lingered, her eyes on paper. Her hand touched samples, always precise, always curious. Dolly searched for colors, threads in blue. She compared shades. She sighed at flaws. Marple listened. She let the voices mix. Ordinary sounds, ordinary day. But she watched Mrs. Provisional, every move exact, every routine followed. The ledger received its notes, stamps aligned, scales balanced, time pushed near noon. The hour mattered. The last collection, 12:30, sharp. Mrs. Prow raised her chin. She lifted the small bell. 2 clear rings, sharp, certain. She said she would step inside. Back in a moment. Her words firm. She passed behind the screen. The shop waited. The sound of paper. The shuffle of feet. Then stillness. Marple's eyes narrowed. Something was off. Not the bell, not the words, but the sense that detail had shifted. No one spoke. Carter clutched her purse. Slack tapped his pen. Mabel shifted her cardigan. Dolly frowned. Time stretched, but Mrs. Prow did not return. The ledger open, the counter empty. The routine had broken, the bell's echo faded. The crowd stood uncertain. Marple whispered. 2 rings, not 1. The note hung cold. The shop seemed smaller. The air felt close. Dolly touched Marple's arm. She whispered, too. She should be back. Why isn't she back? No answer. Only the silence. The counter, bare. Marple knew. The ordinary had cracked. The case had begun. Mrs. Prow had vanished behind the screen, and she did not return. A bell rings. Clear, sharp. Then silence. Customers look up. No one moves. No one speaks. Dolly leans closer to Marple. She is late, she whispers. Marple nods once. Minutes pass. Still nothing. The counter empty. Mrs. Carter shifts uneasily. My packet, she begins. Slack cuts her off. Quiet. Wait. Colin fidgets near the door, his face pale, his hands restless. Dr. Haydock clears his throat. Too long, he mutters. Something's wrong. Vrentier. Clement glances at his wife. Her hand grips his sleeve. Fear creeps in. Mabel Finch says nothing, her eyes fixed on the closed hatch, her lips pressed tight. Marple studies each face. She marks their unease. She notes every glance. Slack stands suddenly. Enough, he says, his voice heavy. He walks to the passage. He pushes hard on the locked door. It resists. Colin trembles. She never leaves it locked, he says. Slack signals him aside. He braces his shoulder. He slams once. The wood cracks. He slams again. The door gives way. The frame splinters. The lock breaks. They rush inside. Sorting room neat. Ledger closed. Stool empty. No sound. No movement. Haydock searches quickly. He checks corners. Nothing. Slack strides to the back door. The heavy bolt holds firm. He forces it open. Cold air pushes in. Snow presses close. All turn to look. Outside, the yard lies white. One path marked clear. Small footprints, neat, ordered. They begin at the threshold. They walk straight across. They end at the pillar box. No turn, no return, no other prints. Slack kneels. He studies the snow, his breath heavy. Her shoes, Haydock says. Low heels, sensible, this matches. Carter gasps. She walked away, taken, kidnapped. Her voice breaks. Marple narrows her eyes, her gaze fixed. She notes the edges. She notes the silence. The snow tells no lies, yet it shows the impossible. One path, no return. Dolly clutches Marple's arm. She cannot just vanish, she says. Her tone shakes, her eyes wide. Marple speaks low. Appearances deceive, they always deceive. Slack rises. He stamps his boots, his jaw set. She's gone, he growls. He looks at the empty prints, his voice flat. Slack mutters, she vanished into thin air. 2 tings, not 1, 2. Marple's eyes narrow, her memory steady. That bell never lies. 1 lift, 1 sound, never 2. She looks at the counter, empty now. Ledger open. Bell silent. Dolly whispers, I heard it. Twice. Marple nods. Yes, twice. Slack folds his arms. Noise means nothing, he says. She left. We saw it. Marple shakes her head. You saw nothing? You only heard. Colin steps forward, his voice nervous. She went back there, I'm sure. He rubs his hands. His words stumble. I heard her speak. She said she would return. Marple studies him. Colin, think carefully. Did you see her pass? He hesitates. He frowns. No, I only heard the bell. Mrs. Carter snaps. Nonsense. She left the counter. Her eyes flash. My packet depends on her. Of course she went. The Reverend raises his hand. Let us be calm, he says. Panic helps no one. But his voice quivers. Even he doubts. Mabel Finch leans on the counter. Her pale fingers touch the wood. She says little, but her eyes stay sharp. Haydock sighs. We must face it. She may be gone for good. Dolly shakes her head hard. Number not Ada. She would never leave her post. Marple bends closer to the bell. Her fingers test the hinge. She lifts it gently. 1 clear ring sounds. She lowers it. No second sound. She repeats. 1 more ring. Never 2. She looks up. Her eyes sweep the room. The bell spoke twice. That means 2 lifts. 2 deliberate acts. Slack scowls. Or 1 confused sound. Marple answers firm. Number the hinge is exact. 2 tings mean 2 hands. Colin stammers. Then who? Who touched it? His face reddens. They say it was me, but I swear it wasn't. Marple says nothing. Her eyes drift back to the counter. The ledger still open. Ink drying, so ordinary. Yet something wrong. She recalls Mrs. Prow's habit, her discipline, her precision, no detail left untidy. But here, confusion. 2 rings when 1 should sound. A voice heard but not seen. A vanishing that made no sense. Marple's lips press tight. The others shuffle. Slack glares. Dolly trembles. Marple speaks at last. Her voice low, her tone certain. Marple whispers, No. She never left the front. A missing woman, a missing parcel. Mrs. Carter leans forward, her voice sharp. My registered packet. It must be here. Her fingers tap the counter. She tries to hide her fear with anger. Slack lifts the ledger. He frowns. Yes, the entry is here. He points to the page. Written, neat, signed. Her hand. Colin nods. Yes, I saw her stamp it myself. Blue pencil, as always. But then he hesitates. His brow tightens. Though, this one looks lighter, almost faded. Marple steps closer. She studies the mark. Her eyes rest on the faint oval. She speaks, calm. Mrs. Prow's hand is strong, her stamps clear. This looks unsure. Mrs. Carter clutches her shawl. Are you saying it is false? Her voice shakes now. Her eyes dart from face to face. Slack shuts the ledger. We will see. The drawer will answer. He takes out the key. He pulls open the registered drawer. Empty. Only dust at the bottom. Carter gasps. My packet gone! It cannot be gone! Her voice rises to panic. Colin blurts, I swear she placed it inside. Right here. This morning. His face red. His hands shake. I saw her. I saw it. Marple's eyes fix on the drawer. Her mind runs quick. No packet. No seal broken. Something altered. Haydock leans in. He runs a hand along the wood. Odd. No scratch. No pry marks. Slack snaps. Then where is it? He turns sharply to Colin. You were nearest. Did you move it? Colin shakes his head hard. No, never. I wouldn't dare. He looks cornered. His voice almost breaks. The Reverend clears his throat. This grows darker by the minute. A woman missing. A parcel gone. Evil stirs here. His wife nods quietly. Her lips pressed. Marple ignores the voices. She bends lower. Her fingers glide across the edge of the drawer. Her eyes catch a faint sheen. She pauses. She presses lightly. Her fingertip sticks. She rubs thumb against finger. A thin, tacky film. She speaks slowly. This is not right. Her voice carries across the room. Carter leans forward. What is it? Tell us. Marple lifts her hand. She shows the faint shine on her skin. Residue. Gum. Slack frowns. Stamp gum? His tone doubtful. Marple shakes her head. Number not stamp gum. This is different. Wrong type. The room falls silent. Eyes turn toward her. Colin blinks fast. Mabel lowers her gaze. Marple's mind turns. A drawer sealed when it should not be. A packet gone when it should not vanish. A mark faint when it should be bold. The ordinary had cracked further. Routine betrayed. And someone had planned it. Marple finds gum residue on drawer flap. Wrong type. Sticky edges. Crooked seals. Slack lifts the outgoing mailbag. He frowns. This is wrong. The lead seal dangles uneven. Pressed once. Pressed again. Crooked, not Mrs. Prow's style. Marple watches. Her eyes steady. Routine never lies. Crookedness speaks. Slack rips the flap open. He digs inside. Letters rustle. Small parcels tumble out. Then a tube. Flattened. Cardboard soft. He sniffs. A faint lavender scent drifts. Haydock raises a brow. Lavender. Strange choice for a post tube. Dolly leans closer. She whispers, Why would anyone scent the mail? Marple shakes her head. Not scent. Masking. Slack holds it higher. Around the string lies a knot. Tight. Awkward. Left-handed twist. He pulls it apart. Clumsy work. He mutters. His eyes flicker. Not hers. Never hers. Colin steps back. His face pale. I don't know about it. I swear Slack turns on him. You tied this, didn't you? Colin stammers. No, I wouldn't. He wrings his hands. I've only used her methods. She taught me straight knots. Mabel Finch watches in silence. Her eyes sharp. Her lips pressed thin. Carter snaps. He's guilty. Of course he is. Look at him. Red as a beet. She clutches her bag. My packet gone, and this mess proves it. The Reverend frowns. Careful, madam. Judgment too soon misleads. His wife nods quietly. Her hand trembles. Slack ignores them. He thrusts the crooked seal forward. Seals matter. She prided herself on them. Not once in 20 years was one crooked. Not once. Haydock sighs. It is damning. But perhaps we must test further before. Slack cuts him off. Number the evidence speaks. Seal crooked, not wrong. Lavender tube suspicious. Who else bungles like this but the boy? Colin blurts. I didn't. You must believe me, please. His voice cracks. I've worked hard. I've never touched the seals, only handed her letters. Marple studies him. His fear real, his eyes honest, but truth and lies often wear the same face. Dolly whispers, Poor lad. They'll tear him apart. Marple answers softly. Maybe that's the plan. The room grows tense. Every eye on Colin. His shoulders slump. His lips tremble. Slack slams the bag shut. His tone final. Enough talk. He points at the boy. His voice heavy. Looks like we have our culprit. Slack says, "Looks like we have our culprit." But inside the ledger, a page hides more. Marple's eyes rest on the binding, a bulge too thick, a slip caught between. She leans closer, her fingers careful. She slides it free. A folded paper, small, secret. Not meant for open eyes. She smooths it flat. Numbers cover the surface, initials beside them. Strange, ordered. Dolly peers over her shoulder. What is it? A list? Her voice hushed. Marple shakes her head. Not a list. A code. Slack snatches it. He scans the marks. His frown deepens. Figures. Nonsense. He tosses it back. Haydock takes a look. He shrugs. Some clerks scribble. Useless. But Marple studies longer. Each stroke deliberate. Each number placed. Purpose hides within. Colin shifts uneasily. I never saw that before. Never touched it. His hands twitch. His eyes plead. Mrs. Carter interrupts. Why waste time on riddles? My packet is missing. Find that, not puzzles. Her voice sharp. The Reverend clears his throat. Even riddles may guide truth, madam. His wife nods. Her gaze rests on Marple. Mabel Finch edges closer, her tone light. Curious penmanship, isn't it? A heavy hand, almost forced. Her fingers stretch as if to touch it. Marple pulls it back. Too quick, too certain. Mabel laughs softly. No harm, only observation. But her eyes gleam. Too much interest, too much hunger. Dolly whispers. She looks eager. Why? Marple replies low. Because she recognizes more than she should. Slack growls. It proves nothing. Find the woman, not children's codes. He turns away, dismissive. But Marple holds the slip, her mind turning. Numbers, initials, not random, never random. Haydock sighs. Perhaps it is medical. Prescriptions, totals. Marple shakes her head. Number different, more deliberate. Colin edges back. I swear again, it wasn't mine. I didn't put it there. His fear thick, his innocence thin. But Marple watches his trembling hands. The room waits. No one breathes. All eyes on the paper. Marple folds it tight. She slips it back into her pocket. Her face calm, her tone final. Marple closes ledger quickly. This was not meant to be seen. Another theft. While the first unsolved, Slack questions sharply. Where did she go? Who saw her last? Voices clash. No clear answer. Colin shifts from foot to foot, his face pale, his breath shallow. Haydock raises a hand. Quiet. Let us think. But his words drown in noise. Suddenly a cry. Mrs. Carter shrieks. The drawer! Look! All turn. The registered drawer hangs open. Not empty this time, not whole either. Slack pushes forward. He bends low. The wood chipped. The lock bent. Someone had forced it. Again. Letters scatter inside. A packet torn. Seal half broken. Carter presses close. My parcel? Mine? Her voice wild. Slack pulls the packet clear. Wrong address. Not hers. But damage clear. Marple steps nearer. She notes the scratches. Fresh. Hasty. Clumsy. Dolly whispers. It happened just now. While we stood here. Haydock frowns. Then one of us did it. One of us. All eyes sweep the room. Faces tight. Fear sharp. Slack stiffens suddenly. On the floor near the drawer lie keys. Shiny. Familiar. He stoops. He lifts them. He holds them high. Whose are these? Silence, then Colin gasps. They're mine, but I don't know how. Slack's voice cuts. You dropped them. You forced it. Colin shakes his head wildly. No, I didn't. I swear. His chest heaves. His voice cracks. Mabel Finch watches. Her eyes narrow. Her lips curl faintly. She says nothing. Carter points a finger. There. Proof enough. He had chance. He had motive. The Reverend mutters. Judgment again, too quick. But even his voice carries doubt. Colin pleads. They weren't there before. Someone placed them. Someone set me up. His words tumble. No one believes. Slack slams the drawer shut. his jaw tight, his eyes on the boy. You lie poorly. Marple studies him quietly. His hands tremble, his shoulders sag. Fear grips him. Dolly edges closer to Marple, her voice low. Either he's guilty, or someone wants him hanged. Dolly whispers to Marple, either he's guilty, or someone wants him hanged. Snow must tell its truth again. Marple speaks calm. To test the puzzle, we must repeat it. Midnight will serve. Slack grumbles. Foolish waste, but fine. We'll see. Dolly clutches her shawl. Midnight? In this cold? Are you certain? Marple nods once. Certain. The group gathers back at the office. Slack, torch in hand. Sergeant Lake beside him. Haydock yawns. The Reverend prays softly. Carter mutters of her lost packet. Mabel watches with sharp eyes. Colin shivers at the rear. Marple lifts the bell. One clear ting. She lowers it. No second sound. She lifts again. Another single ting. She sets it down. Her voice steady. You see, one lift, one ring, always. Slack frowns. Then how 2 rings before? Marple answers quiet. Because someone lifted it twice, on purpose. Dolly whispers. Then the disappearance was staged. Marple replies, yes, staged. They move to the back door. Slack forces the bolt. He swings it wide. Cold air rushes in. Snow swirls. But the snow's fall is clear. It drifts inward, not outward. Haydock kneels. He touches the floor. The flakes prove it. The door opened tonight, not then. No fresh prints earlier. Colin's eyes widen. Then the footprints outside. Marple cuts him off. Placed, created, not real movement. Slack growls. Tricks and riddles, always tricks. Marple's eyes search the room. She sees the desk, the ledger, the empty stool, then the small closet door. She steps closer, her torch beam steady. She bends low, her gaze fixed on the keyhole. There, faint, a gleam of metal, a loop, thin, tight. She reaches but does not touch. Her eyes sharpen, her tone low. See string, drawn from inside. Dolly gasps. So she was locked? Hidden? Marple does not answer yet, her mind turning, her thought clear. The Reverend whispers, then she never left this place. Slack stiffens, his jaw hard. His torch beam shakes slightly. Marple stands tall, her voice certain. This lock tells the truth. She was kept here. The others fall silent, the night heavy, suspicion thick. Marple's heart weighs. A trusted office, a faithful woman turned into a trap. Trust broken again. Closet keyhole glints under torchlight. A thin string looped inside, string where key should be. Slack lowers his torch. Cut it, he orders. Sergeant Lake kneels, knife in hand. He slices the thin loop. The string falls. He pulls the handle. The door creaks. The closet opens. A gasp breaks out. Dolly clutches Marple's arm. Inside, huddled, sits Mrs. Provisional. Her wrists bound, her ankles tied. A lavender cloth gagging her mouth. Her eyes wide, tear-streaked, terrified. Dolly cries, "She's alive!" Relief floods her voice. Lake steps forward. He lifts her gently. Haydock cuts the knots. The cords fall loose. Mrs. Prow coughs. Her chest heaves. She struggles to speak. Marple raises a hand. Slow, breathe first. They guide her to a chair. Her hands tremble. Her voice rasps. She tricked me. The girl. She said I must look inside. Then the door. The string pulled. Slack leans in. Which girl? Say it clear. But Mrs. Prow falters. Her lips tremble. Her voice barely a whisper. Cardigan, gray wool, lavender smell. Haydock pours water. She drinks. Her strength weak. Carter snaps. And my parcel? Where is it? Slack silences her with a glare. Enough of your parcel. Colin looks pale. He stares at Mrs. Provisional. Thank heavens, he mutters. She lives. Mabel Finch shifts her weight. Her eyes dart to the floor. Her hand tightens at her sleeve. Marple notices. She files it away. Every glance matters. Every habit speaks. Mrs. Prow continues, weakly. She tied me fast, left me, said nothing more. I heard voices, but I could not cry out. The gag, the lavender, it burned. Dolly wipes her eyes. The poor soul, such cruelty. Marple places a hand on Mrs. Prow's arm, her tone soft. You are safe now, safe. The room grows heavy, trust cracked, her faithful postmistress treated as prey. Slack signals, Lake. Search the rest. Every inch Lake nods. He moves out, his torch, sweeping. Minutes pass. Then a call. Sir, here, at the pillar box. They gather quickly. Lake points to the slot. A snag of wool clings there, dove gray, thin, sharp. Marple bends. She plucks it free. Her fingers press the fiber. Her eyes narrow. Wool fiber caught on pillar box slot. Dove gray. Details betray the hand. Mrs. Prow sits weak, her voice faint, but her words clear. She asked me, Miss Finch. She said the ledger needed checking. She pulled me close. Then the door shut. The string caught. I was locked. Slack stiffens. Finch, are you sure? Mrs. Prow nods. I saw her eyes. Calm. Cold. Dolly gasps. Then it was her. It must be. Mabel stands still. She smooths her sleeve. She answers, quiet. Surely she mistakes me. Fear clouds memory. Marple studies her. She says nothing yet. But her mind turns. The ledger lies open still. Marple bends over it. Her finger traces the entry. A packet marked. Signed. But wrong. She points. Mrs. Prow, your pencil is blue. Mrs. Prow nods weakly. Always blue. Always. Marple shows the page. Yet here is black ink, not your hand. Someone copied you. Someone who thought the color meant nothing. Slack frowns. Forgery? Marple nods once. Forgery. Colin blurts. I saw her write once. But it was quick. I thought nothing of it. His voice shakes. I didn't know. Carter interrupts sharply. So my parcel was stolen by fraud, not by vanishing. Her anger loud. The Reverend lifts his hand. Patience, madam. Let truth unfold. Marple ignores them. Her eyes fall on the wall clock. The collection disc hangs beneath it. She steps closer. She points again. See? The disc reads 12:30. Slack shrugs. That is the hour. Mrs. Prow shakes her head weakly. Not mine. Never mine. I said it early. 12:25. So the carrier came sooner. A habit. My habit. Marple's lips press tight. She speaks low. Someone said it by the book, not by the woman. Procedures, not habits. Dolly whispers. Then the impostor cared only for form. Not the truth of her ways. Marple nods. Yes, that is the difference. The small things show the hand. Mabel stands silent, but her fingers tighten on her sleeve. Her eyes dart once to the ledger, then away. Slack growls. Enough riddles. Say the name. Who forged it? Who stole? Marple answers. Calm. The answer grows near, but patience is key. She glances again at the black ink. The neat form, the wrong disc, all precise but not real. Her voice soft, her tone certain. Marple says softly, whoever wrote this knew procedures, but not habits. Fraud hides in forms. The door opens. Solicitor Simmons steps in, his coat dusted white, his face grave. Slack greets him. Well, Simmons, what brings you? Simmons clears his throat. I received a request, a formal redirection. He holds out a folded sheet, addressed to me. I thought it. Odd Marple leans forward. Let us see it. Simmons spreads the page, typed lines, neat. Official header at top. Request to move Mrs. Carter's post to P.O. Box 17, Much Benham. Carter gasps. My post? Redirected? Never. She snatches the sheet. Her eyes blaze. This is not my hand. This is a crime. Marple studies the bottom. A signature flows there. Elegant, careful, but wrong. She speaks low. Forgery. A clever one, but still a forgery. Carter slams the paper down. I demand you act, Inspector. At once. Slack narrows his eyes. Calm yourself. We must test it. Marple bends lower, her gaze fixed on the letters. One detail wrong, one detail loud. The E is raised, she says. Her finger taps the word, Carter. See, it floats higher. Always the same flaw, a misaligned key. Simmons nods grimly. I thought as much. The same mark appears throughout. Every E lifted, Marple turns to Mabel. You own a typewriter, do you not? Mabel folds her arms. Half the village owns one. That proves nothing. But her tone sharp, too sharp. Slack growls. Forgery, false redirection, theft. It grows darker. Carter trembles. My packet meant for me, jewels inside, stolen by paper tricks. Her voice cracks. The Reverend speaks gently. Paper is power. The smallest mark leads astray. His wife nods, her eyes worried, her lips pressed tight. Colin shifts uneasily. He clears his throat. I never... Simmons raises a hand, his voice steady. There is more. The request did not post itself. Someone brought it to me, placed it in my hand. Slack stiffens. Who? Simmons looks at Colin, his gaze firm, his words slow. Simmons adds, Colin delivered this to me yesterday. A boy framed too easily. Slack steps closer to Colin, his eyes sharp, his tone hard. You carried this form, admit it. Colin swallows, his lips tremble. Yes, I carried it, but it wasn't mine. Slack slams the paper down. Then whose? Speak, Colin stammers. Miss Finch, she asked me, said it was urgent, said it must be delivered at once. Mabel's voice cuts sharp. Lie. I gave you nothing. You invent this to save yourself. Colin's face reddens. No, you did. I remember. You folded it, handed it to me outside, near the lane. The crowd stirs. Carter shakes her head. Enough excuses. He carried it. He's guilty. Haydock sighs. The evidence mounts. Keys. Drawer. Now this. The Reverend clears his throat. Yet still, let us weigh carefully. Even truth wears masks. His wife nods, her eyes soft. But doubt shadows her face. Colin pleads again. I didn't forge it. I didn't write it. I only carried it. That's all. Slack sneers. You expect us to believe? You stumble. You panic. You fail. Guilt drips from you. Colin shakes his head hard. Tears sting his eyes. I'm no thief. I swear it. Mabel folds her arms. She lifts her chin. I will not answer such lies. He blames me for his own crime. The villagers murmur. Suspicion spreads. All eyes weigh the boy. Carter snaps. Hang him if you must. He stole my jewels, no doubt. Dolly grips Marple's hand, her voice low. They'll destroy him. Look at their faces. They believe already. Marple watches Colin, his fear plain, but fear alone is not guilt. She sees the tremor in his hand, the honesty in his eyes. She looks to Mabel, composed, silent, too silent. Marple's mind sharpens, evidence bent too neatly, keys on the floor, form in his hand, every clue tied to him, too perfect, too quick. Slack growls. We waste time, lock him. He will talk after a night in the cell. Colin cries, No! Please, you must believe me. His voice breaks. No one moves. No one speaks for him. Except one. Marple bends toward Dolly, her voice firm, her words steady. Marple leans to Dolly. He is innocent. I will prove it. The bell, the gum, the ink, the wool. Marple rises slowly. Her eyes sweep the room, her tone calm. Each clue speaks. Together they shout. She lifts the ledger. First the ink. Mrs. Prow writes in blue pencil. Yet here is black, forged. She touches the drawer. Next, the gum. Sticky. Wrong. Not hers. A false seal. She holds up the lavender cloth. Then this gag. Lavender used not as comfort, but as cover. Too neat, too deliberate. Slack folds his arms. Speculation. Marple shakes her head. Number more. She holds the wool fiber. Found at the pillar box, dove gray. Torn loose. See whose garment matches. Her gaze shifts. Mabel Finch stiffens. Her cardigan pale gray. A thread frayed at the cuff. Dolly gasps. It matches exactly. Marple steps closer. Her eyes steady. Knots, too. The bindings. Left-handed twists. Miss Finch is left-handed. Proof hides in the rope itself. Finch's lips tighten. Aye, many are left-handed. That proves little. Marple ignores her. She lifts the mailbag cell. Crooked. Double mark, faint at edge. See this emboss? Not Mrs. Prow's hand. A second tool pressed, used clumsily, not official. Simmons nods. I know such tools. Miss Finch's typing office keeps one for stamping papers. I've seen it there. Haydock frowns. Then her work matches the crime. Carter spits the words. Of course, I knew it. She stole from me. Marple raises her hand. Patience, let facts, not anger, speak. She sets the evidence in a line. The ink, the gum, the cloth, the wool, the seal, the knots. All led one way, all point to the same hand, the hand of Miss Mabel Finch. The room falls silent. Eyes turn to her, faces tense. Colin whispers, "So I was framed." His voice thin, relief and fear mixin'. The Reverend bows his head. Truth clears the innocent, but truth also condemns. Dolly's grip tightens on Marple's arm. Her whisper shakes. She said it all, Jane. Every piece, every trick. Marple nods. Yes, she said it all. Clever, but not clever enough. Mabel lifts her chin, her voice sharp. You twist things. You want me guilty, but you cannot prove intent. Marple's eyes never move, her tone firm. The hands tell, the cardigan tells, the seal tells. They speak louder than denial. Silence stretches, the wool still caught in Marple's hand, the cardigan cuff still frayed. Finch draws back, her face pale, her hands shake. Finch protests, but her hands tremble. A typist cannot escape her own letters. Marple sits calm, her knitting set aside, her eyes fixed on Finch. Miss Finch, she says, you use a typewriter daily, yes? Finch folds her arms. Yes, for work. That proves nothing. Marple nods. Good. Then no harm in a test. Slack frowns. What test? Marple lifts a blank sheet. She places it before Finch. Type this line, just once. Finch hesitates. Her eyes dart. Why should I? Marple answers gently. Because truth leaves marks, and machines do not lie. Carter huffs. Make her do it. End this charade. Finch stiffens. She reaches for the keys. Her hands shake. But she types. Click, click, click. Marple leans close, her finger points. There, the letter E.C, raised higher than the rest. Slack bends over. His eyes narrow. The same flaw. Matches the forged form exactly. Simmons nods. I confirm it. The same machine, no doubt. Finch's lips press tight. She shoves the paper aside. Machines can be borrowed, shared. Marple shakes her head. Number. But this sheet, this form, this cardigan, this fiber, together they say one thing. They say you. The room stills, eyes on Finch, silence heavy. Colin breathes out. So it wasn't me. I told you. His voice faint. The Reverend murmurs, the innocent rise, the guilty falter. Dolly clutches Marple's sleeve. Jane, she looks cornered. She cannot stand much longer. Marple nods, her eyes fixed, her tone soft. Confession will follow. It always does. Finch trembles. Her shoulders sag. Her eyes dart again. She speaks at last. Yes, yes. I did it. Carter gasps. You admit it? Finch nods slowly, her voice bitter. I forged the entry. I sealed the drawer. I planted the keys. I tied her in the closet. I wanted the parcel. Slack's jaw tightens. So it was greed. Finch snaps. Why should Carter have jewels while I struggle? She flaunts wealth. I take what she wastes. Marple's voice cuts soft. You built lies on paper, but paper betrayed you. Finch lowers her head. Her words spill out. I thought it clever. I thought no one would know. But the details, they trapped me. Silence holds the room, all eyes on Carter, her face pale. Her hands clutch her chest. Mrs. Carter gasps. All this? For me? The postmistress returns. Mrs. Prow sits wrapped in a blanket, her face pale, her hands still shake. But she lives. Haydock checks her pulse. Strained but steady, he says. She will recover. Dolly squeezes her hand. Brave soul to endure such fear. Mrs. Prow nods weakly. Her voice breaks. I thought no one would find me. I thought I would vanish forever. Marple answers calm. You were not forgotten. The truth was near from the start. Slack clears his throat, his tone rough. We found the packet, hidden in Finch's case, jewels safe, nothing left the village. Carter gasps with relief. My treasure, still mine. Her voice mixed with pride and shame. Simmons folds the forged form. It will serve as evidence. She will answer for this. Colin steps forward, his head bowed, his words halting. I thank you, Miss Marple. You saved me. They would have ruined me. I swear I never touched fraud. Marple nods gently. I saw it in your eyes. Fear, yes, but not guilt. Dolly smiles at him. You are young. Learn from this. Trust can be fragile. Colin breathes deep. His shoulders ease. His name cleared. Slack stands stiff. He glares at Marple, then mutters low. Well, you were right. Again. Dolly laughs softly. Grudging praise, Jane. Mark it well. Marple resumes her knitting. The needles click steady. She does not boast. She speaks simple. Details spoke. I only listened. Haydock sighs. Strange, how small things undo grand plans. The Reverend nods. Evil hides in paper, just as in hearts. His wife presses his hand, her eyes wet. Mrs. Prow leans back, her voice faint. I trusted her. She smiled at me. And yet she tied me. Such betrayal. Marple touches her arm. Betrayal cuts deep, but truth restores what it can. The room grows quiet, faces soften, fear fades, yet a scar remains. Carter fusses with her parcel. She mutters, all this for jewels. Dolly replies sharply, number all this for envy. Jewels were only the excuse. Marple nods, her needles still. Her eyes lower. Envy poisons more swiftly than any drug. Colin looks down. He whispers, and suspicion ruins the innocent just as quick. The lesson lingers, each heart weighed, each face marked. Marple alone seems calm, her hands steady, her words quiet. Marple, knitting steady, murmurs, yet trust once broken leaves a mark. Letters travel far, lies travel faster. Dolly shakes her head, her voice unsteady. The most dreadful tea errand I ever knew. I only wanted thread, and now this. Marple's needles click softly. She does not look up, her tone steady. Fraud often hides in routine. That is why it works. Carter hugs her parcel, her pride mixed with shame. All this for me, for jewels. It chills me. Simmons folds the false form, his voice low. Paper nearly robbed you. Forgery almost triumphed. Colin stands apart, his hands still trembling. They almost destroyed me. One lie turned the whole village against me. The Reverend nods gravely. Suspicion blinds. It spares no one. His wife murmurs, and trust, once cracked, is slow to mend. Mrs. Prow sits rapt, her eyes still wet. She bound me like a parcel. I heard voices. I could not speak. I feared the world had ended outside. Dolly pats her hand. You live. That is what matters. Haydock sighs, yet it nearly killed her spirit. A smaller cruelty, but sharp. Marple answers quiet. Cruelty wears many faces, not always violent, sometimes clever, sometimes polite, but still cruel. Slack shifts his boots, his voice grudging. You solved it, Miss Marple. Again, I'll not deny it. Dolly chuckles softly. A miracle indeed, Slack admitting defeat. Marple smiles faintly, her eyes still on her knitting. I solved nothing. The details spoke, I only listened. Carter mutters, and I see it now. Jewels are heavy, envy heavier, both ruin. The Reverend bows his head. Lessons writ in small acts, sin in ink, sin in seals, all exposed. Colin whispers, I will remember. I will never forget what suspicion feels like. Marple looks up at him, her voice kind. Then you will be the stronger for it. Dolly sighs, her voice half laugh, half cry. Jane, we only came for thread, and we left with shadows. Marple nods once, her eyes thoughtful. Yes, shadows, from one small post office, proof that even commonplaces hide uncommon lies. The room falls still, each heart weighed by what nearly happened, the crime simple, the harm deep. Dolly mutters, a dreadful tea errand, Jane. Truly dreadful, Marple answers, calm. Perhaps dreadful, yet useful. We have seen again how frail trust is. The knitting needles pause, her voice soft, almost to herself. Behind every letter waits another hand.